training. Well, I stayed. I'm glad I did. I stayed with basic training and to advanced infantry training there at Fort Jackson, South Carolina. Then my clearance was approved, so I went up to Fort Devens, Massachusetts for LSA training. When I went overseas in December 17th, 1960, I went to Germany. Again, no Vietnam was involved. I went to Germany. And I speak German. I'd grown up there as a kid. My dad was in the military. I arrived. This will mean nothing to you, but it does if you're in the military, especially if you're a young private. Because I had ROTC and been to a military school, I was promoted faster. So that was good. But I arrived, and everybody's away for Christmas. We don't want to take care of you. Who are you? Keish? Get the hell out of here. Come on back around the first week of January, because everybody's on leave. I said, oh, okay. So they gave me partial pay, $300. And I went to the PX and got some clothes and things like that. While I'm on the street, this is a little war story, just kind of on the side, but it's interesting. And it's how things happen, too. I'm riding the Strassenbahn, trolley car. And there's this gal, very attractive gal, and I offer her my seat. I'm sitting. Because obviously I'm an American. And it's not that they disliked Americans, but American GIs, nah, they really weren't that keen on it. Well, anyway, so, and, she's attractive. She's a redhead. One thing leads to another, and she said, you want to go skiing? I said, yeah. So I go away for 2 weeks. I forget that everything. And I call back saying, hey, I'm Bill Keish. Remember me? I signed up. I came in here and where the hell have you been, Keish? You must be AWOL. I said, no, I'm not AWOL. I'm right here. Well, I wasn't here. I was in Austria. What the heck? So, I go back. But this is the Army. This is the way, it's a little loosey-goosey. It's how you perceive things and how you do things. And if you handle it with authority, you can do all kinds of things in the military because they think you're of either higher rank or they make the assumption that you wouldn't act that way unless you So I came back, and they sent me to Kassel, to Rothwestern, Germany. Rothwestern had the 320th ASA Battalion. I was there a week, and they asked for volunteers. Now, I always volunteered in the military because you can control things if you volunteer. If you don't volunteer, you're going to get stuck doing something you may not want to do, whereas otherwise, you can do that. If you volunteer, you can kind of make your own way. I volunteered to go down to Bad Aibling, which is in southern Germany, which I prefer. Southern Germany is great. They're more Americanized, pro-American. They're religiously, they're Catholic versus the Prussians, which are up north, and they're kind of. So I was down there. I said, wow, this is pretty cool. I like this. This is fun. And they said, well, we're starting up a parachute club. It's skydiving club. Skydiving. This is when skydiving was first used. So I go ahead and I join the skydiving club. Well, this is great. We have to be trained over at Bad Tolz, leading into where I eventually. And Bad Tolz is about 30 kilometers away. It's not very far. It's in the mountains. The 10th group was there. That's the 10th Airborne Forces Airborne Group. And I just really, thought this is great. Did our training, came back, we jumped out of helicopters. It was fun. We used to take, I had a German girlfriend, and nobody told her about it. Not that she was my girlfriend, but the fact that nobody told her that. I went ahead and got a dummy. I bought a dummy for 20 marks in a store, dress store, and they were throwing the dummy out. And I put a uniform on it, painted the thing up. We put a reserve chute on the thing. We dropped it out of the helicopter. What I didn't know, the guys down on the ground had said, "Yeah, Bill, he's going to be the first one out of the helicopter." And the thing does a Roman candle, goes into the ground. Well, I had taken some plastic jugs and I put some red dye in the jugs. And then when this thing hit, boom! Well, she was not more than maybe from here to the bus away. And of course, all she knows is that this is the guy she's going to marry. Well, that's what she thought. And this was the guy she's going to marry, and now I'm spread out all over there. And she is absolutely in hysterics. She is crying. She's going through. And of course, the guys now realize, we really. And of course, the other Germans are all the same way. They're all going, "Oh, it's terrible, the poor army, poor American, poor American." And then, of course, I come down, and then I land. Maybe one of these Steve Kenyon landings we were talking about. Landed, I didn't even do a PLF and fall on the ground. Yeah, it was cool. And looked at me. She rushed over. She started hitting me. She was a crafty woman. Bam! And she's slugging. What did I do? What did I do? And she said, "Look." Well, here's all this. I said, "Oh, well, that's not me." She said, "I know that." "Don't you ever do that again." I said, "Okay, all right." Then I went because I wanted to go to OCS, Officer Kennedy's. My father was career military. At that time, he was First Army IG. He was a colonel. Okay, fine. He was Ranger, Airborne, all this kind of thing. And a real grunt. Well, I said, "Yeah, I'll sign up for OCS." But they said, "If you do that, we want to make sure that you're going to make it. So we're going to send you the NCO Academy," which was a month long over at Bad Tulsa. I went over there, did my thing, everything else, got promoted out of there. Wonderful. I come back. Little did I know. The first sergeant comes up to me and says, "Keish, you know that 3-day pass you have?" He says, "We revoked it." "Well, you can't do that, my 3-day pass." Because I had planned to go to we were going to go down to Salisbury. Well, he says, "No. You're going over to Bad Tulsa." I said, "There's nothing at Bad Tulsa except the NCO Academy." I already graduated from there. And 10th Special Forces. I've got a real good deal. I'm in the intelligence world. I've got nice meals. I've got this girlfriend that's great, who has a nice apartment. I'm living the life of Riley. Do I want to go to Bad Tulsa? It was 80 pounds ago. And hump around and jump around and everything else? No, I'm having too good a time. He said, "Keish, you're going to Bad Tulsa." So I go to Bad Tulsa, and they say they started a new program. And that program was ASA, assigned to an airborne unit, in this case Special Forces, called the SOD, Special Operations Detachment. And what they would do is we'd be cross-trained. I'd gone to advanced infantry training at Fort Jackson, so I could go ahead and get my infantry training or more of it, demolitions and stuff like that. Not a problem. Go over there, do my thing. I am greeted by Captain Pilot. Captain Pilot was a Special Forces officer. He said, "Who wants to volunteer? We're going to go to the 1st French Parachute Regiment in Strasbourg." Remember, I like to volunteer. Raise my hand. He says, "How many people speak French?" "Oui, mon capitaine." That's all I know. And so he goes, "Fine. You're with me. You're my translator." I mean, how many "we capitains" can you do? And so that was quite something. So we are in a deuce and a half, a military vehicle. We don't have a deuce and a half here, but it's twice the size of that Army vehicle right behind it, which we call in the military a weapons carrier. Okay, so we drive down. 12 of us in this team. It's an A team. Go down to Strasbourg. There's a guy that comes out and greets us. He's got white kepi on. In other words, you've seen everybody, like the French Foreign Legion, they wear little white kepis and stuff like that. And he's got red shoulder boards, and he's got, tassels that come down, and he's got a white belt. He's like out of an operetta, something.